All right. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us on a Wednesday for our fourth installment of maximizing your membership with New York Bio. Wanted to make sure that we provide a monthly webinar for everyone who has either, recently joined our membership, has been a part of our membership already, and just needs a refresher on all the things that we're doing and the benefits that are available, or people who are interested in joining our ecosystem and just kind of want to see what we're all about. So, want to welcome everyone. My name is Chris Kiesel. I'm the Director of Member Engagement at New York Bio. My job is to make sure that everyone who is interested in becoming a part of our ecosystem, knows exactly how to access their benefits and make full use of them because there are a full suite of them. We want to make sure that you are aware and have access to everything. So, good to see everyone. Moving forward, just a quick high-level overview of New York Bio. New York Bio is the leading advocate for New York State's life sciences community. We do this in so many ways when it comes to our monthly events that we have, and throughout the various spectrum of verticals that we cover, whether it's finance or early company development, and government affairs as well. We would be remiss if we didn't have a stance on all of the different things that are going on and affecting our ecosystem. Um, Sorry about that. Moving forward. What we do at New York Bio, we do unite hundreds of organizations focused on health and cures for New Yorkers and global patients. We do that obviously through the events that we cover, a lot of the programming, the fireside chats, group discussions, as well as participate at the state and federal level that our CEO Jennifer Hawks Bland leads. She does a fantastic job with that. And anyone that is interested or is passionate about making sure that they are active and engaged within that particular part of our organization, we want to make sure that everyone has access to it. So if anyone has any questions, or would like to join any of these groups or committees, you feel free to let me know. We spearhead the collective action and advocacy across New York State as a global life science leader. Like I mentioned before, we're extremely active at the state and federal level, making sure that we are either standing, with or in opposition of some of the policies that are affecting our ecosystem. We do also strive to foster innovation through the policies that invest in and advance the development of our industry, as well as we believe in patient access to cutting edge cures, technologies through the innovation of life science organizations across New York State. So that is kind of New York Bio as a trade association at a high level. Some of the benefits that come with being a part of the New York Bio ecosystem are as follows, between the networking, engagement, marketing, communications, business development, and our purchasing group, as we do have Jeff Valergo on the line today to cover some of that stuff as well. But before we get there, to go a little bit, and feel free if anyone has any questions, this is meant to be an interactive session. So if anyone has any questions in real time, I know this is a lunch session, so we want to make sure that everyone is you know, able to ask questions whenever we have. We just, what is it? We see Eugene. There is a recording that will be available, so feel free to tune in afterwards. This will be available to everyone. But feel free to ask questions as we go along. Going to cover a few of these up front, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper if anyone has any additional questions. So, in regards to the networking aspect of our membership, obviously, we do cover an event. We try to cover events once a month that stem across the entire ecosystem, whether that's early company development through our fellows and our mini pitch days, or our finance series that stems the entire year from May. We also, go through our finance summit to our reception all the way to December. If anyone's been to our New York Stock Exchange event, our holiday reception at the end of the year, that is our kind of, capping off our finance series. But the networking obviously is why a lot of people come, whether you're a R&D, life science, therapeutics company, supporting organization. We want to make sure that our members and our ecosystem, we're all networking at a very high level. So we want to make sure that whether, you register for an event and have access to our community portal where you can see who's attending every event and engage, making sure that you're, either setting up meetings before, during, or after. We want to make sure that people are connecting at a really high level and having meaningful conversations. So part of the membership as well, and I'll skip down a few because it has to do with business development as well. We want to make sure that these, interactions that people are having are, one, accepted by both sides. So, I mean, one, we do have opportunities for our members to request, any type of engagement with anyone. So we want to make sure that, people aren't sending cold emails and it's ending up in junk folders and people aren't, connecting at a high level. So if there's anyone that, whether it's a, therapeutics company that wants to get in contact with any type of supporting organization that can benefit, or vice versa. Anyone can reach out to the entire New York Bio staff, being myself, Alexis, Brian, Jennifer, Jancy, Upstate, anyone that is a part of the New York Bio ecosystem. We want to make sure that if you have someone that you'd really like to meet, you reach out to us and we can try to facilitate those connections to make those conversations more meaningful for everyone. The engagement side, we just covered that as well. The marketing communications, a lot of the marketing communications, we do a lot when it comes to social, newsletters, all of that. So if you're an organization that is one, looking for investment, you're a supporting organization looking to educate the ecosystem on how you can be of value to any, company. We want to make sure that you have full access to our newsletter. We do it once a week, every Thursday, right around 16,000 contacts within that newsletter. So whether you're a new organization joining New York Bio and you want to let the entire ecosystem know exactly what you do, how you can benefit certain companies, and how to get in contact with you, we'll make sure to kind of put that up there. If you're a life science company that wants to let the entire ecosystem know that you are the newest engaged member of New York Bio, obviously with New York being such a densely populated area, we want to make sure obviously that a lot of people, with it being so densely populated, there's a very close knit group in the life sciences. So the more you put yourself out there, the more you attend the events, the more information that you share with the ecosystem. We want to make sure that you're being put front and center when it comes to, leading discussions or inviting people to certain things. And then the final, but not the least important, this is actually one of the main reasons that a lot of our members join, is our purchasing group. So a lot of the companies, and obviously, not to say that it's harder than it was to get funding back then. I feel like it's only gotten harder for everyone. But with our purchasing group, we want to make sure that we're supporting all of the life sciences ecosystem. Doesn't matter if you're therapeutics company, or a supporting organization. Our savings consortium that we have through BioBusiness Solutions, we now have rebranded it as the Empire Advantage program. This gives companies access to a suite of savings opportunities that can not only extend their runways, but save them a ton of money year over year. So this is kind of the high level overview of the benefits. Wanted to touch really quickly, and this is not an April Fool's joke. This is a new, and I'm sure if anyone's seen it, any early stage companies or incubators that are in our ecosystem now have a dedicated membership tier for them. So we have two different membership tiers that we rolled out: our Innovation Starter and Innovation Multiplier memberships. The Innovation Starter is for incubators and accelerators that have 5 or less resident companies that they work with, and to make sure that they are being onboarded onto the New York Bio ecosystem to be able to network, save, attend the events, or even participate in some of the pitch competitions that we have throughout the year. This allows incubators to purchase a membership to New York Bio, and then from there provide the membership benefits to their entire resident companies. So the Innovation Multiplier membership is for any incubator or accelerator with more than 5 resident companies. So really a great opportunity for any of the early stage companies to communicate with their incubators and accelerators and tell them that this is a great chance for them to save money, have an expansion of their value add services through their marketplace. If there's anything that they're not offering, we're happy to work with any of them to make sure that any of the benefits that New York Bio does have to offer that are not in conflict with any of the marketplaces or benefits that these incubators and accelerators provide. We want to make sure that we're providing a value added service. So anything that we have that any of the incubators or accelerators don't have, we're happy to just kind of extend additional offerings to them as well. So if there's any questions in regards to that, feel free to reach out to me. In regards to our other membership categories, we do have, if anyone's not familiar with our core categories for our life science R&D companies, these start at $1,100 for the smallest organizations for 1 to 4 employees, and then from there it goes up to 500 employees. So there's a membership tier for everyone. The same goes with our supporting members. All of the memberships are based on global headcount within the life sciences. So that pretty much will dictate what level of membership you're at. But if you're interested in not only just kind of becoming a member, but participating in the entire, whether you're interested in thought leadership or being on a fireside chat, a panel, hosting your own event, anything like that, the Premier and Elite memberships provide a really great opportunity where it's a bundled package of membership and sponsorship opportunities, and that pretty much we can kind of tailor that to your needs and your company's interests, and make sure that we're aligning with your goals for the year. The sustaining members obviously are the largest members in our organization that want a more of a board seat and leadership role within New York Bio. Institution members are set for our academic institutions, research facilities, stuff like that. Our fellows, like I mentioned before, but to kind of dig a little bit deeper into the fellows, our fellows are early stage companies with less than $8 million or $7.5 million in funding. So if you are a company that is less than $7.5 million in funding, you do qualify for a fellows membership, which entails a first year free membership. So from now until the end of December, first year is free, second year is $350, and the third year is $650 before you graduate and become a core member of the organization. That being said, if you want to join now, you would get the free membership for the rest of the year. And let's say your incubator or accelerator joins, that would then extend the free membership for the foreseeable future. So a little strategy there just in case anyone was interested. And then our patient advocacy groups are free. So anyone that supports patients, has an organization that is passionate about advocacy, we want to make sure that they are spreading their message and supporting, and we're supporting them as much as we possibly can with these complimentary memberships. All righty. So moving forward, just wanted to share a little bit about kind of our 2025, just kind of in a nutshell. Through our savings program, through BioBusiness Solutions, the Empire Advantage program saved our members over $14 million in 2025, which is a fantastic accomplishment. And it really, shows that we are able to kind of keep the lights on for our life sciences companies in New York and beyond. So that's a fantastic number to be able to hit. And we hope to have more savings this year as well as people adopt this program. Over 160,000 people are now connected with us through LinkedIn. We want to make sure that our message is being spread, like I mentioned the newsletter before, but we also have a pretty sizable LinkedIn presence and want to make sure that any type of information that's happening within our ecosystem, we're sharing it through those channels. Last year, we hosted 17 events, so a little bit more than one a month, which is fantastic. And then, over 1,200 people attending these events. So fantastic, really great networking opportunities, great opportunities to connect and, just kind of move your companies forward. All righty. Speaking of events, some of our upcoming events that we have right now, if anyone wants to take a screenshot of this, I'll leave this up for a hot second, but it will also be available to you on the website, the newsletter, and if you want to look back at this stream as well. Our Patient Engagement Summit, April 22nd. So a lot of patient advocates, patient stories, really great day for storytelling and making sure that our patients are being heard. So feel free to join us there. That'll be at the Genome Center in Manhattan, April 22nd. Our second mini pitch day of the year is going to be June 3rd. That will be in Syracuse. So any of our upstate companies, anyone that's interested in mentorship, any type of pitch feedback for your slide decks, or really just kind of general mentorship and to be able to kind of move forward when you go do these fundraising rounds at some point either this year or in the future. We want to make sure that everyone has access to that. That'll be on June 3rd. We are currently taking applications for that event. So if anyone's interested, feel free to let me know. Happy to share the application with you. We will be picking companies soon. Our finance summit, like I mentioned before, our first finance event of our finance series is going to be on May 20th. Really fantastic event at West End Labs. That'll be May 20th. If anyone would like to join that, that is a fantastic networking opportunity hosted by West End Labs, and we want to make sure that everyone is available or invited to that one as well. And then fast forward to the end of the year, or three-quarters of the way through the year, our Innovation Summit, our largest event of the year, encapsulating our entire membership from top to bottom, our biggest, our largest companies, and then our next spin out of any of our academic institutions. There's content networking for everyone at those events, so feel free to put that on your calendar as well. When that becomes available, we'd love to have you at that one as well. All right, so just to kind of recap really quick, and if you're asking yourself, why is Empire Advantage right for me? Is there anything that I'm missing, or is there a reason why I should or should not join? This gives you access to a rich portfolio of services across the spectrum. So whether you're looking at insurance, you're looking at lab supplies, you're looking to sell lab equipment, travel services, really anything that you could possibly think of, there is something for you in this program. And we're going to be sharing that with you just in a minute. So if you want to make sure that if there's anything that you can pick a la carte from there that can save you money in 2026, we want to make sure that you have access to that. The due diligence is done by industry experts. So Jeff Valerga is on the line right now. He is a testament to how successful and powerful this program is. You'll meet him in a second, but this program has been hand selected for life science companies, but can be of value to supporting companies across the spectrum as well. And these tailored offerings, are suited for your business model. So at any point, wherever your company is, if you're just an early stage company just getting started, or if you're an established company with funding kind of, fast tracked on your way to a IPO, we want to make sure that there is something out there for you. So, anything a part of this program, there's something that can benefit you here. All righty. So with that being said, I wanted to introduce Jeff Valerga from BIO. He's the Vice President of Business Development and one of our partners for the Empire Advantage Savings Program powered by BIO Business Solutions. So Jeff, wanted to hand it over to you, and thanks for joining us.
Chris, thank you. I appreciate that. And hello, everybody. I appreciate everybody joining today. Normally, I wouldn't be dressed quite this nice for this, but I'm in a conference right now, so I just popped up to greet you all today. So, yeah, I just wanted to review a little bit about what the cost savings program of BioBusiness Solution is, and it's something that's free to you as members of New York Bio. And there's 21 different programs. So what we do is we take the leverage across everybody, all of the members from various states, and we act as though it's one company or one contract. And so we take that leverage and make sure that we pass the savings on to all of the members. So it's completely voluntary and also completely free. So if there's any opportunities that you see that make sense for you and you want to look into it, reach out to Chris, reach out to myself. We'll be happy to make sure that you understand what you're getting and what the advantage to you in particular is. So last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago, we had a savings week, and so what we did is we tried to get our partners, our 21 partners, on a call so that our members can understand the advantages. So their whole role during this week, this 3-day series of an hour each. And we just talk about the savings and what you can get buying from each individual company. I think we had probably 9 companies present, maybe a little bit more. And so it's fairly quick, fairly fast paced, but we do have this twice a year. So I'd recommend to tune into the next one, which is probably going to be September, where we'll just kind of rapid fire talk about the savings. And it's less about what these companies do for a living. It's more about what the savings, what you can get as a member of New York Bio and through this program. take a look at what those 21 programs are. And you're going to recognize some of these logos because they're quite a bit of industry leading. Oh, actually, sorry, there was another slide. The savings piece, yeah. So this is the savings that we had pulled out of the industry last year. So over $700 million in savings in aggregate for everybody. And how powerful is that? That this is something that, because of the leverage, because people are taking advantage of their membership and utilizing this program, that we actually $700 million saved for everybody, so that they can take that money and do science with it, right? And just kind of pulls that money out of the ecosystem. We're pretty proud of that. The 830 million is the annual spend overall as well. So really, this is considering this is $830 million customer, so to speak. So that's how big ultimately it is. If you look at it, we saved almost as much as that spend. So really, you're looking at about not quite half, maybe 45% savings on that. And then right now, there's over 4,500. We're approaching 5,000 companies that are utilizing at least one program on this. So really, that leverage, especially over the time, because this has been going on for a couple of decades, we've been doing this and honing it and making sure that's relevant to the things that you use. So we've really kind of honed that to make it relevant to everybody. But after that, if we get to about 5,000 different companies utilizing it, it really does have leverage with our partners, and our partners wanting to be a part of this and giving the pricing and the terms that would represent the size and scope of this agreement.
And Jeff, I think one of the other things too is, I mean, I know a lot of since New York is really kind of the kind of hub for early, early stage companies or innovation, that this program gives the earliest of early stage companies the buying power of an extremely large organization.
Absolutely right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And really, it's startups and mid-size tend to be the ones that join this one or more of the programs the most. But in reality, even larger companies, there we do have a fair amount of large companies that might be utilizing one or two programs. So it really is, it's for all sizes and scopes of organizations, but we're really focused on that startup to mid-size companies, is really where our sweet spot is probably. So here are the logos of who we're utilizing here. So you're probably going to use a fair amount of these already, which is great. I would say also look to see if there's opportunities where maybe you might be using one of their competitors or something too, and that tends to be a pretty fun process for us to go, oh, well, here's what you could be saving. And there's ways actually for us to show you what you would have saved had you been on this program last year. And that's really more specifically with our flagship program, which on the top there, Avantor, which is actually rebranding back to VWR, and that's a 150-year-old brand, I believe, and it's a great partner for us, and they have been really the driver of a lot of the savings because they've been partners with us for quite a while. So if you're utilizing VWR today, let's take a look and see what savings we can get you on that program. A couple others that I think are worth pointing out. We added three new ones last year, one of which is the SU Group, or Specialty Underwriters. And they have service maintenance agreements for laboratory equipment. So for those of you that have equipment in your labs, they're manufactured by a lot of different companies, and so you might have a service agreement with two or three or four or more companies after the warranty expires. So they will come in and they'll aggregate all those together for you, so you're only paying once, and not only saving money on it, we tend to see about 15 to 20% savings, but also savings in time, in terms of time, so that you've got somebody who has to manage those. They will manage it for you. So very successful. It's been a great program for us, a great ad, and one of those things where we're really looking for new opportunities for you. Biotech Exec is also a new one, which is fractional leadership. So let's say you've got a situation where your CFO leaves and you need to hire a new one, but in that term while you're looking, you need to get somebody in place to do that work. Biotech Exec can place somebody for you for 3, 4, 6 months, whatever it is that you need. And the other ones, maybe you're ramping up pretty quickly and you're not quite ready for a full-time chief operating officer or another C-suite executive. So you need somebody just that's maybe working 10 hours a week. And so they can help place somebody there. They have a really good Rolodex, so to speak, showing my age there, but they really have a lot of contacts out in the market that can really help you. So that fractional leadership piece is has been very helpful for our members. And then finally, the other new one is Corporate Traveler. Pretty much speaks for itself. I think most people know about that. But if you're people are starting to travel more and more and you don't have a travel system yet, consider Corporate Traveler. They're very robust in what they can do in terms of making sure that you have control of where everybody is, and who they're using and that sort of thing. It really and reporting, they're really fantastic with that. So those are our three newest ones that we've added. We're pretty excited. But again, you get the flagship in Avantor VWR, and then Airgas and Brex with a credit card. A lot of the things that you're using in a laboratory or a production environment. Clean Harbors is another good one. And then Chris had mentioned the used equipment. So whether you're buying used equipment or selling used equipment, ALT is a great company. They've been very great to work with for us and really certainly helpful on this program. And I think a lot of people really actually use them to sell the equipment that they don't need back. So maybe you are moving labs and you have a couple of freezers that you just don't need anymore, or something. You can connect with them and look to sell that to them. So a lot there. A lot to unpack. I could talk for a very long time with it. So feel free to reach out to Chris. Chris will get you in touch with me, or somebody else on my team, and we'll make sure that you get your questions answered and you really understand what the savings is that are available to you through these programs.
Thanks, Jeff. And then one other thing I wanted to mention too, that I know that we always harp on the fact that, life science companies can, save a lot of money through this program, but not just life science companies, but the supporting organizations that help these life science companies move forward, whether you're a law office, an accounting practice, anything like that. I mean, there's benefits on here that can benefit you as well, whether it's UPS or Chubb or Brex, anything like that. So it's not just for life science companies, right?
Oh, yeah, that's great, Chris. Totally right.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, if anyone has any other questions regarding the savings program or the networking, the business development side of it, or up and coming events, feel free to put it in the chat now if there's any other questions that we have. If not, you can always catch me offline. My email is right here. So if anyone wants to take that down, happy to take any of these conversations offline to discuss. If you're a company that's looking to potentially join the New York Bio ecosystem, if you are a current member already, but you haven't really kind of used all of the benefits that are available to you, happy to do, a secondary onboarding call and make sure that if there's anything that we can do for you in regards to networking, business development, any type of events that you're looking to hold throughout the year, always open to collaborating with member organizations. And then the savings program as well, if there's any way, whether it's, shipping or lab supplies, mailing things out, always want to make sure that we have this available to you. So if there's no other questions, want to make sure that we're being mindful of everyone's time. I know, any webinar that goes under time is always a great, it's always a good thing. So we love giving time back to everyone. So if there's no other questions, feel free to ping me or Jeff offline. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. But in the meantime, we hope everyone has a wonderful April Fool's Day. Enjoy the weather while we can, and we'll see you on our next webinar next month. All righty, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll talk
Chris,
to you soon.
see ya.